place to catch up with friends, relax in a friendly atmosphere and enjoy great service and food, then Buckley's can offer a fun evening that the whole family can enjoy. In our bistro you can enjoy a selection from our extensive menu, including family favourites. On those sunny days, our alfresco is the perfect setting to enjoy a meal, catch up with friends, or watch your favourite sport on 2 large plasma TVs. Having a special occasion can be made easy by hiring our newly renovated function rooms. Buckley's, a venue of class that provides all your entertainment and function needs.
Fantastic. Welcome again, back again, and of course we've got some big games on this afternoon. Of course, the big one, of course, out at Inverleigh and North Geelong on 94.7 The Pulse, but there are other games on this afternoon, believe it or not. And of course, out at the Winchelsea Oval, the home of the Mighty Blues, they take on a much improved Geelong West, who have now come out and had a win. Win is a win is a win. They're knocking off Anarchy last week out at the Church Street ground, but a bit harder from down at Winchelsea, Dale.
Yeah, I think so, Dick. We've been praising Winchelsea for their efforts over the recent weeks, and at half-time, I think on Saturday, it was 10 goals to 1. They end up losing 19 goals to 13, which is not a bad effort. They've outscored Crow in the second half, and a lot of sides don't do that. They're going to need, obviously, those blokes to kick goals for them last week. Kelly, I see, got 6 last week. There's a few other players that stepped up and kicked goals. They're going to need them up and firing. Geelong West, you never know now. They've had a win, might gain a bit of confidence, but I think their trip down the highway might be a bit too far. I think Winchelsea at home.
Jace?
Great for the league, for Geelong West to have a win and to defeat Anarchy on last Sunday. But I think that Winchelsea, without winning a lot of games this season, have been pretty competitive. As Dale said, they played pretty well in the second half against Corio on Saturday, and I think they might be able to win at home. Yeah,
it'd be great to see, because we always said the last few weeks that Winchelsea have been very close, and this is a big opportunity for them in front of their hometown crowd and supporters and sponsors to do that right thing and hope the guns don't come off too loud. It's an absolutely experience down there when you're trying to watch a game of footy. Well, one thing for sure, Grubby won't get lost this week because the Werribee Centrals are playing at the home of the Duck Pond and they're taking on the East Geelong Eagles. They were very impressive last week, the Eagles, I must say, and this game takes on all the qualities of being a very big clash, Smithy.
The game momentum East Geelong, Dick, and from where I sat on Saturday, I think there's probably now only 3 sides I think that can win the actual grand final. That's Belpost, Hill, Thompson and East Geelong. Bannockburn have fallen off and Werribee are very disappointing after half-time. I'm not too sure what their game plan was to win the game. They put an extra bloke behind the ball, and I'd hope that by quarter time it could be all over there and they might have 2 or 3 back behind the ball trying to save face. But that's what it appeared to be up there. They never tried to win the game. I was a little bit disappointed in the way it went about it. So they're going to need to obviously improve. If Kitchen's not kicking goals and Case's not kicking goals up forward, Chug was well held last week. He'll need to get, Calvert was well held last week. He'll need to get amongst the scoreboard if they've got any chance of winning. But I think now that the Giants gaining some momentum, and that's East Geelong, I think they're going to be too strong.
Yeah, I was impressed with them, Jace, and obviously Werribee Centrals will have to watch the big fella and Scrollack to make sure he doesn't get too much of his own way.
Yeah, well, you saw them last week and we saw them the week before against Bannockburn, and they were pretty impressive, especially in the first quarter. And I don't think it's just Scrollack they'll have to worry about. Their midfielders and their rotations are pretty good. They've got about 6 or 8 blokes they run through the midfield, and I think David Leach is going to have to come up with a couple of plans for how he's going to actually win the ball in the middle from Craig Hardigan. It was a bit strange the way they were using him in the game. I think they need to use him a bit more in the ruck contest. But look, they'll be more competitive at home, Werribee, but I think East Geelong are going to be too strong.
Yes, okay. Down at the Thompson Thunderdome, Godfrey Street Complex out there in front of the John Mitchell Pavilion. I don't know what they're going to call it, but it looks pretty impressive out there at the moment. Tommy Tigers are coming into some magnificent form, last year's premiers, and they're looking awesome at the moment, particularly with young Jackson McLeod in magnificent form as well, with the old brigade following it as well. And, of course, they take on Anarchy, and Smithy, you can't see Anarchy getting too close this afternoon.
Well, I suppose Anarchy kicked 18 goals, 9 last week, but the opposition is going to be completely different this week, Dick. Thompson are just, again, another side that just seem to know what to do and how to win a game of football. They've got, a multitude of blokes they can put up forward and kick goals for them, so I don't think that's going to be a great concern. I suppose Anarchy are now got to save a little bit of face going forward. That a game against Geelong West, that's one they would have actually put down for a win. And I suppose they're going to be a little bit dirty on themselves. So let's hope that Steve Ricker can get the boys up and firing this week and make a contest out at Thompson, but Thompson will win the game.
Violet Crumbles looking very impressive, Jason.
They are. We've seen them a couple of times during the season, and they seem to be able to cover some losses that they have, which most teams have injuries through the season. I think they're going to be strong again this afternoon and win pretty easily.
Great to see Thompson doing so well. I mean that from the bottom of my heart with the greatest sincerity. I really, really do. Out at Victoria Park, the Bannockburn Tigers, they take on Corio. Now, Smithy, this game isn't going to be a bad contest because Corio are thereabouts and Bannockburn just seem to be struggling of late.
Yeah, Bannockburn are struggling, Dick, and they've got a number of injuries, and I wouldn't think that any of them are going to come back this week. So the job will be for them to obviously pick themselves up off the ground and get themselves back into some winning form. They've got a good enough side to win. They've got blokes up forward that can kick goals. Wishart probably needs to kick more. Eddie's got to get involved in the game. They played Foot at full forward last week, and he's a big bloke. I don't know whether that's the right option. But I think they need to make sure that they get the ball out of the centre and at least take some control, because if Corio get that free run going with the O'Toole's going forward, and I'm pretty sure that Billy Nichols will come back and play this game, they're going to have enough up forward. And Chad Rivet was back on that side, and I think he's the bloke that makes a difference to them up in the forward line. He gives them a target, big bloke. They've got plenty of runners around his feet. Going to be a great contest. Dick, as I said before, this is the other game that can really set up Bannockburn to maybe stay in the top 5, and Corio might be its last chance to make a charge towards that position. So, look, I think it's a great contest. I'm probably going to go for a draw. I'll sit in the fence.
You controversial little thing you are, Smithy. You're unbelievable. Now, Jason, I'm not going to start any rumours or anything like that, but you blokes did say off here, and I'm going to dob you right in. No Riccardi, no Bannockburn?
We didn't. No, we didn't say that, but I think they're struggling big time. They need to get some players back in. They also need to get some of their players fit and firing on the ground. And I actually think Corio might win. I think that they've always played pretty well out at Victoria Park as well. And I think Ricky O'Toole will have them primed to say, well, this is it, boys. If they don't win on Saturday, today, they could be in trouble. So I think they might win.
Well, it'll be interesting indeed. We'll have to look forward to that, Jason. Next week, come back and say, good decision, Jace, or please don't come out with your footy chips again. It'll be one of the two. Out at the Winter Resort, oh, gee, we named that place right. This afternoon, they take on the boys from the Ring Road Recreation Reserve, the Bellpost Hill Panthers, who are in reasonable form at the moment, but Belmont Lions have fallen away a bit, Smithy.
They have, Dick, hot and cold, and it's going to be cold out there, so I don't think it's going to enhance their prospects at all. I just don't know where they're going to get enough ball into their forward line to kick a winning score against Bellpost Hill. As I said, Bellpost Hill in the first half last week were pretty good. They got 2 goals behind early in the game but never panicked. They got themselves back in front, and from then on they just shored things up. They didn't have to do anything more than they had to because they weren't asked to do anything more, and I think that's probably the disappointing thing. Belmont Lions are running out of time to make the top 5, and this is a game that's going to be critical for their performance if they have any ideas of playing final football, but I just don't know whether Bellpost Hill will let them do that. Bellpost Hill want to sit on top of the ladder. I think to finish the top 3 will be important to them. They've got a hard run after this stage, so they'll need to make sure this is one of the wins that they have, and I think they'll win by 5 or 6 goals.
Jace, Bellpost still too good?
I think so. They were impressive on the weekend against Werribee Centrals. I think their forward line's just starting to hit their game plan, so I think that they will be too strong for Belmont. They're gone.
They told me the Belmont Lions ball's coming up shortly, and Cogsy's going to put a dinner suit on. Look like a great big emperor penguin, won't he? It'll be unbelievable. It'll be sensational. Hard to believe another half an hour has gone so quickly this morning. And Dale, you can now slip off home quickly and have a quick look at the rest of MASH. Have a great afternoon.
Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. As I said, when you wake up in the morning and the temperature's right and the mood's right and all that sort of stuff, and then you actually wake up and think, it should be somewhere else, you get into a bit of trouble. But no, look, I'm looking forward to the game this afternoon. It's not too far to go from home, so it'll be an interesting...
Yeah, is that how you picked the game there?
Right. Well, Winchester's only another 5 minutes across the road, mate, so that doesn't worry me. So I'll go anywhere there's a good game of football. Let's hope it's better than the last half last week.
Jason, I misled our viewers that you won't be there this afternoon. You're going out to Warrnambool for a kiddies fun day, so obviously enjoy yourself down there.
Yes, it'll be nice and chilly down there too.
Yeah, fantastic. And you have a great afternoon at the where's it? We go to Warrnambool.
Yes, well done.
Yeah, lovely. We do a bit of whale watching. And no smart comments either.
Already happened today.
He's quick, isn't he?
Go.
He's a funny man. And of course, it'll be great to see Eric. He will be in the commentary box this afternoon. Well, you have a great afternoon in footy, folks. I'm looking forward to tonight. We're all to the Knoll Lane Hotel to have a magnificent steak there with the North Geelong Magpies committee and players. It'll be a sensational night. Daryl Pittman and the boys are following very shortly. We look forward to that show as well, the local leagues footy show. We'll see you all again next week. Back after this. No, not better back after this. Jason is completely throwing me. Have a great afternoon in footy. We'll see you all again next week. Bye for now.
The place to catch up with friends, relax in a friendly atmosphere and enjoy great service and food. Then Buckley's can offer a fun evening that the whole family can enjoy. In our bistro you can enjoy a selection from our extensive menu, including family favourites. On those sunny days, our alfresco is the perfect setting to enjoy a meal, catch up with friends or watch your favourite sport on 2 large plasma TVs. Having a special occasion can be made easy by hiring our newly renovated function rooms. Buckley's, a venue of class that provides all your entertainment and function needs.